The essence of the 34 forces of destruction is right in front of you, Luo Feng observed carefully. The biggest purpose of coming to the abyss of destruction was to accumulate insights on the destruction path. Previously, he personally felt the encirclement of the world envoys, pondering the mysteries of destructive forces himself, but his own speculations were not necessarily perfect. Unlike now, all mysteries are fully displayed before his eyes. Although he has accumulated enough mysteries of the destruction path to reach the threshold of creating the primordial blade path, the deeper the accumulation, the smoother the path to create the primordial blade path. These 34 light clusters, each contains all the mysteries of one type of destructive force. Luo Feng was somewhat surprised. Moreover, they include the destructive forces from layers 1 to 19 of the abyss of destruction. Could it be ... Could the entire abyss of destruction consist of exactly 34 layers? Luo Feng couldn't help but speculate, but he didn't care too much about it. His thoughts were more focused on these mysteries. Luo Feng sat cross-legged, patiently observing and comprehending. In the blink of an eye, 30 eras passed, and Luo Feng had grasped all those destructive mysteries in his heart. These veins, Luo Feng noticed the glow of 34 light clusters intersecting, forming veins throughout the mountain of destruction. These veins integrate the mysteries of 34 types of destructive forces, perfectly unified. At this moment, Luo Feng thought of the primordial's life core. The life core is formed by one mystery as the main and multiple mysteries as the complementary ones, forming a complete whole. Is this more like a life core path in the direction of destruction? Luo Feng vaguely sensed, with destruction as the main, compatible with multiple mysteries in the life core. Following the guidance of the mountain of destruction, theoretically one can explore 34 types of destructive forces and perfectly integrate them into a whole. Of course, this is the most perfect situation. This path is only suitable for ancestors, not for us cultivator lords. Luo Feng understood this point. Ancestors are born with life cores in their bodies, which are naturally nurtured by the infinite primordial space, allowing them to contain multiple mysteries. Containing dozens of mysteries is very common, but cultivator lords need to comprehend by themselves. To understand a primordial level Dao is already a rare achievement. Indeed, Luo Feng pondered, mysterious places can nurture some highest level powers, but no matter how special the mysterious place is, it cannot nurture a primordial level Dao. Like the mysterious place via prison wall, 12 types of the highest level flame power have been discovered. The Blood Crane territory also contains 3 types: blood power, undying power, and shadow power. Without a doubt, all mysterious places, the maximum nurtured power is the highest level. But Dao is a collection of rules. It requires one's own insight and pioneering. The endless primordial space originally did not have primordial level Dao. It was only after the pioneers developed it that Dao existed. While various powers exist innately, from this perspective, ancestors and some mysterious places are relatively compatible, as they are born with life cores. Some are even born as ancestors. Luo Feng thought, but we cultivators are not so compatible. We cultivators don't have life cores. We must start from nothing and create our own paths. But once a Dao is developed, one immediately becomes the highest level life form, immortal and undying. If one masters to primordial level Daos, one immediately rises to the pinnacle of the endless primordial. Luo Feng still felt that the cultivator lords were stronger. Cultivators rise from the lowest level, step by step to the pinnacle. The lowest level cultivators are insignificant in front of low-level primordial life, unable to withstand even a breath. The highest level cultivators, however, have the ability to overpower all ancestors, even if the power of Starlight and Shoujo is equivalent. Shoujo is known for destruction, but Starlight excels in many areas, observing the past, present, and future, the control of time and space. Combining multiple layers, Starlight is much better than Shoujo. The fact that the mountain of destruction can lead me inside indicates that I, a cultivator lord, I am also suitable to be its master. Luo Feng stood up smiling, bypassed the sculptures, and thoroughly explored the area around the mountain of destruction. As long as sufficient distance is maintained from those 7 sculptures, it won't trigger combat. This mountain of destruction nurtures quite a lot of weapons. Luo Feng bypassed those sculptures, gradually approaching the mountain of destruction, and the weapons embedded on the mountain became more apparent, and the scenery on the mountain became clearer, with some twisted large trees faintly visible. Finally, Luo Feng arrived in front of the mountain body of the Mountain of Destruction. At his current level, he couldn't discern any gaps in the material of the mountain rock. Its surface bears lines containing a hint of destructive flavor and naturally condenses some black mist. As an immortal and undying being, Luo Feng naturally dared to attempt everything. Buzz? Luo Feng extended his hand and touched the rock of the Mountain of Destruction. Buzz? At the instant of touch, an endless, cold, killing intent instantly spread throughout Luo Feng's body, rushing into his spiritual consciousness. However, Luo Feng's spiritual will was also cultivated to an extremely strong level. Even when the Silent Extinction Ancestor and others joined forces for a soul attack, they couldn't shatter Luo Feng. At this moment, this cold killing intent brought pressure to Luo Feng's spiritual will, but he completely withstood it. At that moment, Luo Feng felt many emotions of killing, hatred, with countless slaughter scenes appearing in his mind. Those were historical scenes of slaughter, destruction that occurred in the endless primordial space, all filled with incredibly intense emotions. Love, hate, passion, enmity. Even the innate primordials are filled with intense emotions. Of course, the richest of these emotions most often come from the creatures of the source worlds. Each source world can give rise to so many lives, and most of these lives are short-lived. Experiencing so many tribulations, countless among them have endured the repeated disasters brought upon by the innate primordials. Everything I have was destroyed by these innate primordials. Kill, kill, kill. A cultivator frantically charged toward a wisp of breath descending from a world-level primordial life. For a world-level primordial life, a mere wisp of breath descending constitutes a catastrophe that countless creatures in a source world find hard to resist. Even the strongest among them amount to nothing more than playthings for the world-level primordials. To dare to raise a blade against me, you're quite brave indeed. Thereafter, the twisted figure formed by that wisp of breath devoured the cultivator. Why? Why can't we resist? Why can we only await death? Even as the cultivator died, he was filled with unwillingness, and there were beloved friends and family embracing each other, welcoming the arrival of the catastrophe together. Indescribable love and reluctance, really reluctant to let go. But what else can they do? At this moment, overwhelming icy killing intent and countless scenes surged into Luo Feng's memory. 3 parts were the killing intent of the innate primordials, and 7 parts were the killing intent of countless source world cultivators. These cultivators bore too much hatred, resenting the vast difference in power, resenting their own impotence. They cursed the injustice of the great Tao. I am also a cultivator. I consider myself strong enough, yet those world-level primordials approach me only to die, and most of those ancestors flee in disarray. But what can I do? Luo Feng's spiritual will can withstand the impact of the Mountain of Destruction's killing intent, but these intense scenes filled with hatred somewhat stimulated him. Although he had previously witnessed the miserable states of many source worlds from the non-cultivated territory, merely watching and experiencing it firsthand are worlds apart. Now feeling those overpoweringly intense emotions as though living through those scenes himself, it greatly impacted him as a lord. Luo Feng's eyes couldn't hide the killing intent. The innate primordial camp, the Ice Peak camp, including many weaker forces, as long as they are among the innate primordials of world-level primordials and some weaker ancestors, the source world origin is the best food for their life core growth. The 8 lords who aim to protect all source worlds will face far greater resistance than now. Luo Feng understood this point. At that time, not only would they be unable to protect other source worlds, but even the current 3,600 world groups might be implicated. Just like what Elder Brother said, our cultivator camp isn't strong enough. Luo Feng touched the Mountain of Destruction's body, the killing intent and memory scenes gradually dissipating, no longer impacting his heart. However, once a cultivator lord experiences it, he will never forget. Touching the Mountain of Destruction this time, personally experiencing that endless killing intent, hatred, and countless scenes, all of it Luo Feng naturally kept in his heart. This Mountain of Destruction. As the shock dissipated, Luo Feng touched the mountain's body and sensed the information. On this Mountain of Destruction, precious destruction fruits will condense. These destruction fruits can promote the growth of ancestor life cores in the destruction direction. Each time a sculpture is defeated, one fruit is obtained. The more sculptures defeated, the more destruction fruits gained. Destruction fruits can not only be consumed to promote life core growth, but can also be used to exchange for treasures nurtured by the Mountain of Destruction. According to the sensed information, he was eligible to take one destruction fruit, or he could choose not to take a fruit and exchange it for a treasure. One fruit, used to exchange for a treasure. Any one of them is more precious than the sky-splitting saber. All are among the finest from the vast weapons and treasures nurtured by the Mountain of Destruction, including battle armor and others. One fruit can select one item from 3,000 treasures. This battle armor closely resembles Khufu's. Luo Feng found a piece of battle armor among the sensed treasure information. Khufu should be one of the three who came to the Mountain of Destruction. He didn't consume a fruit, but chose to exchange it for this battle armor. Luo Feng pondered. He doesn't have a life core. Even if he takes away a destruction fruit, it would only be sold to other strong beings. From a strength perspective, Luo Feng still planned to exchange it for a suitable treasure. No rush. The more sculptures defeated, the more destruction fruits there are, the better treasures can be exchanged for. Luo Feng could feel that the abyss of destruction was guiding, trying to cultivate a truly supreme existence in the direction of destruction. Whether it's the veins displayed by the Mountain of Destruction or the destruction fruits, all guide the growth of life cores in the direction of destruction. Based on clues, it should be me, Khufu, and Shoujo who came to the Mountain of Destruction. Luo Feng speculated, which he considered most likely. Shoujo only mastered to highest level powers, yet her destructive power far surpassed the Endless Snake Ancestor and Ice Peak Ancestor. Now occupying the 27th layer of the Abyss of Destruction, Luo Feng had reason to suspect that Shoujo had been here and might have even consumed a destruction fruit. Otherwise, how could her combination of two powers be so perfect? This Mountain of Destruction is indeed a great opportunity, but the help it offers is even greater for ancestors. For Luo Feng, one can comprehend the mysteries of destruction, can accumulate destruction fruits to exchange for sufficiently powerful weapons and treasures. 3. These 7 sculptures also make excellent opponents. If completely defeated, there is even hope to wield this highest level mysterious land. The first sculpture already has the strength of the top 20 of the endless primordial space. Let's see the strength of this second sculpture. Luo Feng, after touring the Mountain of Destruction and finding no other gains, actively approached the 7 sculptures in the distance again. As he got closer to the 7 sculptures, the bird sculpture still did not move. But the 9-headed giant snake sculpture of the second kind slowly awakened. As the 9-headed giant snake awakened, its body rapidly enlarged, and in barely a moment, its massive form extended over the entire land where the Mountain of Destruction resided, its serpentine body coiling over the ground more than a full circle, 9 heads staring at Luo Feng. The sheer formless dominance surpassed the infinite snake ancestor. Luo Feng frowned slightly. The second sculpture is already this strong. Did Khufu only defeat one sculpture? At this moment, Luo Feng realized the 7 trials were much harder than he had previously anticipated.